This video is made possible by Napleton Subaru of Schaumburg. Visit their website in the description below for more information.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2023 Subaru Solterra Limited. Up front is a fully electric drivetrain paired to a 1-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Solterra because this is Subaru's first EV product. I'm so thankful that I have the job that I have while all of these automakers are putting out their first EVs. I get to say I was there when Subaru did their first ever electric vehicle, and that to me is super exciting, and that's what I'll be sharing with you today. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackbradle.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car just like this one. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that all-electric drivetrain. The Solterra has 2 electric motors, and I'm going to be referencing it a lot, but this is also a shared vehicle with Toyota. Toyota also sells this vehicle under a different name, and so there are a couple features that don't cross over that I'll mention, but this shares a complete drivetrain with Toyota, which I find really interesting. This particular vehicle gets 228 miles on one charge. However, this actually gets 6 more miles of range than the top trim, so this is a limited. However, you can go up to the Touring, and the Touring, because it gets different wheels, a couple different features, it's actually a little bit heavier and gets 6 miles less of range. So if you want the longest range possible, you got to go with the lower trims like this vehicle. Now, like I said, paired to it, 1-speed automatic. That's fine. It's doing the job. However, I do want to note that this vehicle is all-wheel drive. It's only offered in all-wheel drive from Subaru because every Subaru besides the BRZ is all-wheel drive in all of their formats, which I think is a really, really cool cornerstone of the company. So how does it feel to drive? Well, it drives like an EV. I like the size of it. There's not too many blind spots. Think Mazda CX-5, Toyota RAV4, or honestly behind me, I don't know if you can see through the rearview mirror, there's a Volkswagen ID4. Very similar size, and I have a review of that as well if you're looking to buy one. When I put my foot into it, it has electric car torque. It puts you back in your seat a little bit. It's nothing mind-boggling or too crazy, but it definitely does add that driving feel of an electric car that people have come to know and love over the last couple of years. Now, it does suffer from a couple of EV downsides, which is the fact that the driving experience is somewhat numb at times. The steering is kind of light and unforgiving. The throttle pedal you don't really feel. So it does feel like you're driving a piece of software rather than driving a physical combustion engine vehicle, which makes perfect sense. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior because we have some really cool parts to talk about. Well, in front of me, I have my digital gauge cluster. This is pretty highly customizable. I can have it show me a lot of different things. Messages off to the left, charge and power, and miles till empty off to the right. I get this nice little gauge cluster, but it's so far away and it has these like guardrails leading up to it. I think this is really, really interesting and funky, which I like to see from a Subaru, and I'll share why later on. The steering wheel itself, again, very different from typical Subarus. Off to the left, I have my page and selector dials for that center screen. I also get volume, voice commands, and phone options. And off to the right, I have a bunch of different cruise control settings. This does not have Subaru's EyeSight system. It actually uses Toyota's radar cruise system, which is still a good system, but people kind of come to know and love the EyeSight from Subaru. This isn't that system. The overall look and feel of the steering wheel is very fresh and modern. I feel like it's something out of Cyberpunk 2077. I like that. Off to the left, I do get a climate control vent as well as a speaker up at the top that has this sort of fading design on it. Again, funky and different. Then I have my automatic headlights, tailgate switch, and 2 dead switches. Like I said, this is not the top trim. Moving on to the door, we do have 2 memory seat options, power mirrors, folding mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, I do get a very, very modern, very fresh feel feeling infotainment system. This is Toyota's brand new infotainment system. I just drove the new Sequoia with this same system. I really liked it in that car. I really like it in this car. It also does come with a 360 camera, which I find to be very, very nice and very useful in any car, but especially an SUV. It of course has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And overall, I think it's pretty simple and easy to use, and I like seeing that. Down below that, I have my power and volume buttons, and then I have my climate controls. I like how sleek they are. I still get some physical buttons for this, but what I really love is that this is the only Subaru to get automatic heated seats. So when it detects that the temperature outside is cold, it will automatically turn on your seat heaters as well as your steering wheel heater, which is very, very nice, and I am definitely taking advantage of today. Then I get the power button as well as 2 climate control vents. These are very, very clearly Toyota. And then we have a bunch of very interesting buttons. Off to the far left, this is our power parking brake, brake hold, as well as our 1-pedal drive. In the center, this is the shifter. It takes a little bit of getting used to. To shift gears, you have to push this ring down, and then left or right for reverse, neutral, or drive, and then park is its own separate button. This is a little bit too funky for me. I know I said I liked that this car was funky, but this is a little too funky, and I don't really see much of a point. Off to the right, I do have my different drive modes. So I have power, eco, or regular. Then I have X mode, which is only on the Subaru version. So the Toyota version does not get X mode. Then I get traction control off and parking assist. However, this car can't actually use the parking assist because you have to subscribe to it. So if you buy the top trim Touring, you get all the bells and whistles from the day you purchase it, no subscription necessary. But if you buy a lower trim, you have the option to later subscribe to some of the nicer features, of course, for a monthly fee. Then we have a really cool wireless charger in the center. The reason I say it's really cool is because it looks like this nice gloss black, but it's actually windows. So if you have a light or your phone lights up underneath the cover, you can actually see it light up, and I think that that is really, really neat. Then we do have some cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2023 Subaru Solterra, and unfortunately, it doesn't fit the big friggin' bottle. I really wasn't fully expecting it to. I guess I held my breath a little bit, but at the end of the day, it unfortunately fails. Then I do get a little center console, and we'll talk about the seats. The seats are power, memory, heated, and they're finished in this sort of funky color combination. I really, really like that look. However, on upper trims like the Touring, you actually do get ventilated seats as well, if that's something you would like to seek out. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2023 Subaru Solterra Limited, and a couple of things to note. First of all, I have 3 different levels of heated seats back here, 2 USB-C chargers, and 2 vents for the climate. I also do get a center console, 2 cup holders, and a little cubby space back here. But the biggest thing, the most notable thing, is the space. Sitting up like a normal human being, I have 6 or 7 inches between my kneecap and the seats. Headroom is great. I can fit my hand above my head. I'm 5'11", so I'm not that small. I fit back here wonderfully, and that was a little bit of a concern for me, but sitting back here, all of those concerns have been thrown in the trash. I really, really enjoy the seating position back here, and I just really love this size of SUVs. I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again later in the video. This to me is the perfect size because there's ample room for the back, great backseat space, but there's no third row. So you're not trying to squeeze and compromise the second row to try to fit that third row. It just says 2 and done, and that's it. And I really, really like that. Speaking of the back area, however, let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so right off the bat, I do want to note that I'm standing up on a ledge. I'm not like this tall, but anyway, hold it here on the key fob for the rear tailgate, pops up like that. And once we are back here, nothing really too crazy to note. I do get Harman Kardon speakers and some other niceties here. I can also pull this up, and this is where the charger's normally found. Now, this is a demo vehicle, so the charger's back at the dealership, but your charger would go down there. Pretty simple stuff, nothing really crazy about the rear trunk area. However, it is power, and I really, really like that about the Solterra. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is very, very funky, very, very weird, and I like that. I really, really like the way this looks. But now let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think finally driving the Subaru Solterra? Well, I have to say that I am pretty happy with it. And I'm happy with it on two different fronts. First of all, I'm happy with the way it drives and how it acts as an EV. It's nice and quiet, it's comfortable, it does what I want. It gets decent range, 228 miles is pretty good, all things considered. As a car, getting in and out of this every single day, I think would be nice and easy and not strange. But on the flip side, I do want to talk about the other reason I really like it, and that is because it is strange. Subaru, to me, I've driven a lot of Subarus here on the channel. Here's a quick little demo reel of the Subarus that I've driven. Yada, yada, yada. Very, very nice. Turbos, flat sixes, flat fours, manual, automatic. I've done the lot. Subarus before the 2010s used to be very, very weird. Take a look at this bug-eye wagon that I drove. It has this obnoxious hood scoop on it. It's bright yellow. It looks like a block of cheese hollowed out with a 4-cylinder. Take a look at this Subaru Loyale that I drove. Weird. The Subaru DL from 1979 that I drove. Super strange. Subaru used to have this cunning personality. It was in your face and brash and weird. They made weird snorting noises from the turbos. I like that. They used to be fun. But in the 2010s, after the financial crisis in 2008, and financial crisis was all over the world, Subaru became very normal, offering good cars, yes, but they lost their personality a little bit along the way. They blended in with Camrys and Accords and Mazda 6s. But this, this stands out from the crowd. This is different. It's weird. It's like they gave the styling department free rein on the interior and exterior. Look at the front end. It kind of looks like it's trying to be the fifth member of Kiss. But I like that. I like that it has a personality. It has a little edge to it. Has a little bit of bite to it. It's strange. And strange is good. Strange is very, very good. Driving this car, no, it's not making those weird Subaru noises I've come to know and love. There's no flat 4, flat 6 rumble under the hood. There's no turbo whistle. I do miss that dearly. But I think this captures the essence of an older Subaru just with an electric drivetrain. This car evokes emotion, whether positive or negative. It evokes some type of emotion. And that, to me, was such an important part of Subaru in the 1980s and 90s that I was sad when it went away. But like I said earlier, it's back. This car is weird, and I love it all the better for that. I'm so happy to be driving this car, and to me, I see a little bit of twinkle in Subaru's eye. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Steven over at Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg. He is absolutely awesome for helping me get this car. Napleton Subaru is fantastic. They have a couple of these on the lot. They are just hitting lots right now, so please go check them out in Schaumburg. They have fantastic service. They have a huge inventory, so whatever Subaru product you are looking for, they'll be able to help you get behind the wheel. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.